Hello everyone and welcome to Linda's Stampin' Escape. How is everybody this evening? We are live on Facebook and today I am sharing part 2 of my 4-part series for watercoloring. July is World Watercoloring Month, so all month long I will be focusing on watercoloring techniques. So glad you can join me today. As you pop in, give me a hello. Looking forward to share this. Hello, Barb. See, we got a few more people coming in, so we'll wait just a minute or two. Meanwhile, I will let you know that today I want to teach you the watercolor wash technique. So these are mostly used for backgrounds. So I'm going to show you how to create gradients of one color and two color, and then we'll do mixed color backgrounds. So it should be a fun stamping experience. Waiting for my computer to catch up with me. I don't know why it does this, but anyhow, I am going to keep on going. And I have to one little thing. Because I forgot to grab that when I was upstairs. So, what you're going to need for our techniques I'm using today is just our regular stamp pads. So you can use those, or you could use the re-inkers, but I think that you have much more control when you are working with the ink pads. So I will show you how I do that so it works a lot easier for you. That's what I try to do. I try to take all that and make it easy. A lot easier for you. There we go. All right, so I got myself a little tissue paper here. Just going to move this up so you guys can see that better. So we got Barb and Cheryl and Nicole and Barb. Oh, how's it going up north, Barb? So welcome everyone. I'm so glad you could join me. So I hope you caught up on my little intro there. Again, we're using the watercolor pens, our ink pads, and if you have a brush or two, you can use those as well. You will need some blocks and some tissue paper just to absorb any extra water that you might have. And then your watercolor paper. So let me just set those off to the side. And you will also notice some fun little glossy dots assortment. That is going to be my drawing for this evening, to see who the lucky winner will be who was watching last week. So set that off to the side for now. And what I'm doing is putting my paper in quadrants. And I'm doing that because, well, it just saves you on a little paper. And it also gives you a very nice edge when you're finished. So I will show you that. So I'm just going to put that down. The washi tape also helps hold your paper down, because these that I'm going to show you tonight are wet on wet techniques. That's what they call them. So water wash is wet on wet. So what's nice about that is our watercolor pencils, our watercolorers, pens here, actually hold water in them. So you'll always have clean water. I do like to bring along an extra little piece here that I put some water in, just so I can do some extra little cleaning, and then again my tissue so that I can just blot that off when I'm done. So, because we're going to be switching colors. All right, it looks like I got myself lined up here pretty well. And we're going to get started. So, I'm pretty much going to be using the watercolor painters the entire time. Again, if you wanted to use a brush, you could, because what we're doing is wetting the whole front of our watercolor paper. And I must have had a little bit there left from last time. So when you're getting your watercolor paper wet, you want to make sure that it is shiny. So it should have a sheen on it, but you should not have puddles. So get that nice and wet. Make sure you get all your corners in there. No puddles. So get it nice and wet. All right. And now we're going to use Starry Sky. That's going to be our first one tonight. So let's get that open. And I'm just going to dip this right in here. I like using my blocks because it allows me to mix my color down here or go straight on with a lot of ink. Now I put a lot of ink on here, but I also know I'm going to be using that for another technique. So I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to work my way down. So this is kind of like your ombre technique. Others call it a gradient, where you start with your color and it gets either darker or lighter. I am going to start dark and draw my color down. Okay, now I'm going to grab some more here and get this nice and dark. So now you're in control when you're working from the block, because you know where the wet areas are, which is on one side, and the pure ink is on the other side. So that way you can just keep adding more of that dark and then draw that down, and it blends so beautifully when it's wet. So that is why the wet on wet. You want to have your colors picked out prior to doing your techniques, because your paper will dry, and if it does, it's not going to blend as pretty. So, and you can always add a little more water. And I'm pushing some of that back up there, and I'm going to grab a lot more of that pure ink down there, because I want to get this top nice and dark. And pull just a little bit more color down, so we got a little more gradient. See how pretty that is? And so soft. And that basically is your first technique. So it's just the water wash. That's all you're doing, is bringing that ink wet on wet and pulling that color down. Just a little bit down on the bottom. There we go. And you can see the color difference there. So there is a little color difference. Now I'm going to clean out my brush and just dab it off there. Make sure that I have clean water, and we're going to start our next technique. Now this one is pretty much the same, except we're going to use two colors. Again, remember, you want to get that water onto your watercolor paper, but no puddles. But go from edge to edge. Alright. And I just told you, you should have your colors ready, and I should have. I might have to add a little more water. I am going to use Melon Mambo and Calypso Coral. I thought those two would look pretty together. So how I'm going to do that is Calypso Coral on one side, Melon Mambo on the other. Now you can clean or you can close up your ink pads so you don't have to worry about those drying out, even though they don't dry out that fast. It's just nice to always put them away because you got your color right there. I'm just going to take a good look at this, make sure I got a nice sheen, no puddles. Bring that color back down here, or the water. There we go. We got nice wet. All right. We're going to do the same thing. We are going to pick up our color over here. I'm just going to start with a little bit of water in there. And I'm going to start. See how that automatically starts blending? Isn't that pretty? And we're going to leave that nice and soft. I want to mix that in a little bit right there. And I'm going to get solid, that pure ink from the top there. There we go. And it's already blending itself. And we're just going to pull a little more color down. Okay, don't want to go too far in the middle yet. Now I'm going to clean off my brush, and I am going to grab some of that Calypso Coral. Start down here. Work my way up. Ooh, we're going to blend just a little bit of that. I want to grab just a little color down here. There we go. You don't have to be afraid to blend colors. Some colors were meant to blend. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to pull a nice swatch of the dark. So pure ink on this one at the bottom, just like we have up at the top, so that we have a beautiful, brilliant combination of colors coming together. Just drag a little bit of that Calypso Coral into our Melon Mambo. A little bit more down here, and bring that up. I gotta remember to get out to my edges. All right. See how nice that just blends? Ever so softly. Now, don't be afraid to go back. If you're not sure if you like that or not, or you want more color, come back in and bring some more color in. As long as that's wet, it's going to keep blending nicely for you. Ooh, look at that. Gorgeous. You can clean that off, dab it off. If that's too strong over there, blend it in. Gorgeous color combination. Who knew? All right. So, there is your one color and Starry Sky, and then our two color water wash. We're doing wet on wet. Make sure you have good coverage of water. So, if you guys like what you're seeing and you want to see more techniques and stuff, don't forget to visit my YouTube channel. It is Linda's Stampin' Escape, as is my blog, and you can find me on YouTube, and I have all sorts of different techniques and folds, so hop on over there. There's hours and hours of enjoyment for you. Okay, let's have a little fun with this next one. All right, so let's keep our Melon Mambo. Let's bring back our Starry Sky, and let's add a little Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to add that right there. And now we're going to do 3 colors. So we're going to have a multicolor background. Let's get our paper moistened. Another nice thing about using the washi tape to hold your paper down is you'll have nice definitive lines so that you can trim that off and get it ready for your cards. All right, got my edges wet. I have no puddles, just want to make it smooth out. All right, so let's get a little dramatic. Actually, I'm going to start light. So I'm going to add water to my starry sky, and I'm just going to start adding some blue on the background. Again, don't be afraid. All right, a little squeeze of water in there. And I'm going to add a little, woo, that is a bright one. So I'm going to clean off my brush and just blend those colors. Some of that up there. See, even though they moved on you, you still can pull coloring. Now I'm just going to add, look at that, a little dab of that gorgeous grape, and we're going to get that right into that pink. How about some down here? Looks awful bare down there, so let's grab some color. And again, if you're getting too wet, you can pull a little bit of that off as well. I think it's looking very nice. What I think we do need, though, is a little more blue. So let's get a little blue up in here. When you are experimenting, you can check out how the colors blend together. I want to get this a little bit less defined there. There we go. And get out to my edges. I need a little more blue in here. So there we go. And that blue and pink will turn purple anyway, won't it? So, you know you've got a nice color mixture there. Looks like a beautiful sunset. I'm going to go down along the bottom and make this nice and full of grape. Nice dark color. I'm going to bring a little bit more up in here. Looks like you might have a storm or a heck of a sunset. All right. One more little pink. A little more pink in here. So that is a heck of a sky, isn't it? And how easy was that? So you don't have to be a pro to watercolor. You just need these simple techniques and just play and have fun. Now, I am going to try something, so bear with me, because I didn't really try this one out before I met with you guys today, but I thought it would be fun. So let's wet this down. I heard of this technique before, and I'm sure some of you have. I just really haven't tried it yet. So I thought, what better time than when I am with my friends and we are creating. So I am going to grab Bermuda Bay. Let me grab that. I'm going to add a little here, or a lot. And then let's go nuts and try some Parakeet Party. All right. One more time, I'm going to add just a touch more water. Make sure I have it all over. There we go. And then I'm going to grab some of the Parakeet Party, and I'm going to pull that in. Right now, I'm just going to do a nice wash like we did on our other ones. And I'm not even switching colors. I'm just going to go right into the Bermuda Bay. Whoops, I'm loosening up here. Can you see? There we go. And I'm going to get this nice and dark over here. I'm going to do a little bit heavier. See how the two colors are mixing nicely? All right, now I'm going to clean it off, and I'm going to grab a little bit more of that parakeet party, and I'm going to come right along here and actually blend so we're almost creating a new color. And if there's a little white in there too, that is okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then, just having fun with this one. Grab a little more Bermuda Bay. Ooh, get that edge down there. A little more water. Okay, make sure up to my edges here. Pull that out. Blend it a little bit. There we go. Now I am grabbing salt. I want to see what this looks like. Hope it doesn't mess up any of my other ones. All right. So let's grab that and see how that looks. So basically now we are going to let this dry. You could use a heat gun and set that. So I'm going to let that salt soak up that. And you know, you can actually let your colors sit here for a little while. They won't dry out. Water's going to get them going again. But I couldn't leave without showing you how to do a background and then not how to make a card with it, right? So here is our one color wash with Starry Sky, two color wash with the Melon Mambo and Calypso Coral. Here is our multicolored background with the Starry Sky, Gorgeous Grape, and the Melon Mambo. So we use those through. And then we use Parakeet Party and Bermuda Bay to do the salt techniques. I just want to add one more thing, show you what else you can do. And I'm going to do this right on top of my salt. But I'm going to use something here to cover up my other one, because I don't want that one splattered, okay? So I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go on, and I'm going to tap. And what happens when you tap on that clear, clean water, it's going to give you little watermarks. So I am curious on how that one's going to turn out. And I will show you, but not today. So yes, I am teasing you. For the next few days, I will share a card with you from each one of these. Although tonight, I'm actually going to share from our first card, which is the Starry Sky one color wash. That's right here, where you get that gradient effect where it's dark to light. So I took my Starry Sky paper and embossed it with the Painted Texture embossing folder. So that would give me a lot of texture. And then I worked with black. I wanted to keep this very neutral and wanted to focus mainly, you know, on your watercoloring, right? That's what we're doing with our little background. The little greenery you see comes from Splendid Thoughts. That is a brand new set out of the mini catalog, and it's amazing and it's so much fun. So here's the dies, and there's the stamps. So it has a nice little bundle. And if anybody's excited about that one, when you purchase this bundle, you have enough in sales to grab a free celebration item out of the celebration catalog. So this is the 2 items that I am using for this gorgeous card. So cute. Love this. So simple. And let me just toss a little heat on there. I want to see if I can speed up that process. I'll try to talk louder. And we'll see how this one turns out. Tomorrow on my blog, you will see a card done with our 2-color wash, the Melon Mambo and Calypso Coral. And then we'll move on to our other ones. Oh, I see what happens? Ooh, I got one little dot in there. I think that'll be okay. I think my salt is drying. Let me slide that up a little so you can see a little better. How's that? Trying to get you in there square. All a little. Okay. Now, I believe I put, which one was on top? There we go. Now, remember how I said you'll have a nice border? Let me peel this off ever so carefully. There we go. Oops, I got a little rip in there. Luckily, it's down there, and it's not going to affect our card at all. Peel this one back. And we're going to pull that salt off. Well, it's kind of funky. It's quite different, I'd say. I'm going to have to get very creative when I try to find what to make with that one. So there it is. It's kind of cool. I think I had too much salt on because the water spatter didn't come out quite the way I was thinking it would. But I don't know. We will figure something out, won't we? So don't forget to join me on my blog. Again, Linda's Stampin' Escape. So just meet me over there. I'll actually put the link in the comments for both the Facebook Live and for my YouTube watchers. So I'll put the link for my blog there so you guys can hop over there and see the cards. And remember, this one, I'll pop this one back on tomorrow so that you can see, and I'll explain exactly how I did it again and my dimensions if you like that. We'll do that. But right now, I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. And don't go away because we are going to draw for those cute glossy dot assortment. So that is what we're drawing for tonight. And that is for all my lovely viewers from last week. So let's get those names out here. We'll hit the full screen here. Step that off to the side. Slide you guys in. Yeah, close ad. We don't want to look at eggs. Come on. Well, so much for clicking on that. Okay, so are you guys ready? Let's get that over here. And we'll put this and this over there, and then we won't see that ugly stuff. Okay. Countdown. Good luck, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Kathy. Congratulations, you are the winner of our Glossy Dots assortment. I want to thank you and everyone else for watching. I appreciate that. And if you love what you see, the best compliment you can give me is to share. So if you like what I do for you, then please share with your friends. And while you're on YouTube, don't forget thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and then you'll get notified when I post new goodies. So have a wonderful evening, and I will see you back here next week, Tuesday, with another watercolor technique. And Kathy, if you would message me your address, we'll get that out. So thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Good night.